Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Jacob, it's good to have you back. We have what I was wondering what happened to the chat. Please call your brother Simon Frank from Tanzania. I think both of you disappeared. I don't know where you have gone to. But good evening, Zipporah Meto as well. It's good to see you. How is North Rift? It's really nice to have you here this evening, and everyone else who is on the call. We really appreciate you. Hey, Wakili, I see you. Thank you very much for joining us. Caroline Kamande. Wow. I'm seeing names I haven't seen in a while. Helen Musalia, karibu sana. Thank you very much, Habat Zake from Uganda. We appreciate you. Yeah. I'm just looking for familiar names. Richard, Dr. Minor. I see you guys. Oh, my friend Wafula Nabutola, good evening. So, right, it is really nice to see you again. Thank you very much for keeping it at Atara Solutions. My name is Grace Nzula, and I am an HR consultant and trainer with Atara Solutions. And you're tuned in to Get It Right with Atara Solutions. This is a webinar series that takes place every Tuesday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. And we do this with in partnership with a number of organizations. But Get It Right with Atara Solutions is a webinar series that seeks to demystify issues in employment and entrepreneurship. We bring all sorts of issues that employees and employers face in the workplaces mostly. So we try to look at the worker, the workplace, and the work itself. So, and today we are privileged to be among the first people who are bringing in a conversation about insurance, because I think we all assume that getting insurance and good insurance agents is just a walk in the park. It's just, it's obvious. I mean, so do we ever get to read the fine print? Do we even know who is doing better than who? Or do we just look at the premiums and then just say this is a good deal? So with us tonight is also my co-host, who is our sign language interpreter, Madam Catherine Sidandi. Catherine Sidandi, thank you so much. And last week I learned how to do this. Oh God, I have now forgotten already. How do you spell T? I have forgotten how to spell T. Yes, like this. Yes. I was taught that last week, how to spell T, and I have forgotten already. My God. Yeah. So I hope you guys are practicing with me. That's a T, and D is yes. Oh, here we are, like this. Okay. So, and how do you spell
Yes.
grace though? Or oh wait, get it right now. Get it right get it right in sign language. Yeah, yes, get it right.
Get
Get
right.
oh
Get
get.
right.
So it
You know, in
to
sign language, we omit some words. We don't use like it, we omit it. We just get right.
get right. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're tuned in to Get It Right. There we are. So thank you very much, Catherine Sidandi, for making us inclusive. Please, if you know somebody who has hearing impairment, you can ask them to come. We have lessons for them as well, and they get to also learn as we learn with each other as well. So allow me to also give a shout out to our partners. I've seen Habat Zake on the call. Habat, it's always a pleasure to see you. Always a pleasure to have conversations with you. You are one of those people who leave me happy. I think every conversation with you, you have to crack my ribs somehow. And I really appreciate that we are in this together. Right. So we have a number of institutions. You've heard me talk about Habat Zake. Habat Zake is the proprietor for Steadfast Quality Solutions. This is a public relations and human resource consulting firm in Kampala, Uganda. If you're looking for any support in the areas of HR or PR in Uganda or Kampala, even in East Africa, Steadfast Quality for Solutions will be your people. And then we also have Pathway Solutions. Pathway Solutions have an LMS. LMS is a learning management system where you can actually go in and learn and train yourself and be able to get a certificate at the end of it. And then we have Profiles International. Profiles International are the people. If you guys are in our WhatsApp group, you've seen what do we call it? A podcast. I was a guest of theirs a while back on emotional intelligence, use of emotional intelligence in networking. So that's Profiles International. If you're looking to become a certified Genius Intelligence emotional coach, emotional intelligence coach. Oh my God. If you're looking to become a Genius certified emotional intelligence coach, then Profiles International will be the people. And we have Elsame. Elsame is a beautiful place in Naivasha. That's where we are doing our next road trip. You can Google them, Elsame Lodge or Conservancy as well. It's actually one of those places where warthogs are walking around. You can see giraffes. You can see a number of animals there. They have an education center. They have a museum. And then if you just want to go and chill and just be with yourself or be with somebody, it's just an amazing place. Then we have Essence Park. Essence Park are in the waste management field. If you're looking for people to help you in your waste management, if you're looking for people to train your teams on health and safety, then Essence Park could do that for your organizations. Then we also have Nile Front. Nile Front is what? Nile Front cottages are cottages located in Jinja, Kampala. My God, that place is so beautiful. The sunset is breathtaking at Nile Front cottages. And there's a cottage there where you sit, you actually have a view of two sides. You get to see the sunrise and the sunset. My God, it's amazing. It's out of this world. And then we have Ndovu. Ndovu are investment organization. If you're looking to invest offshore, then Ndovu would be able to guide you on that. And you have Wicklin. Wicklin is a carpet cleaning and sofa cleaning company. They actually offer free pickup and delivery in Nairobi. For sofas, they'll come and clean it from the comfort of your home. And then for carpets, they'll pick up, go clean, and bring it the next day. And this weather is really good for it. They'll just finish off by the evening. Your sofas are ready to go. And then we have Panessa Training Institute, and we have Kapula Mintito. I don't know whether you guys can hear me. Kate, you can hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I just saw a notice that my whatever is going. Yeah. So and then this week we are in Rwanda. Today was arrival day. People are doing sightseeing and among other things in Rwanda. And then on Thursday and Friday we will be very busy in the conference. And if you're in Rwanda or somewhere near Rwanda, or if you're in Kenya and have always wanted to come to Rwanda, please come. Come, and let's have a learning conversation around leadership and transformation in Uganda at the M Hotel. And this is organized by K Square HR Consultants. If you're looking for HR consultants in Rwanda, then K Square are your people for those services. So, right. And now tonight, we are on to understanding insurance. And insurances, I mean, it was interesting to just get to understand the aspects of insurance and as we were thinking about this topic, because these are things, and especially if you're in HR or if you're in finance, these are decisions you get to make every year. But do you really not know what to look out for? And with us we have Star Discover, one of our partners who is here to deliver this, and the representative is Jonah Tomno. Jonah, if you can come on. Jonah, if you can hear me, you can have your video on. You can do a bit of introduction and then tell us, how is it we are supposed to what are we supposed to look at when it comes to insurance? Jonah, take it away.
Great. Thank you very much, Grace. I hope everyone can hear me. Grace, you can hear me?
Loud and clear.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for the opportunity to do a presentation to this great audience regarding getting insurance right. Let me try my what I have learned from the sign language chat. I hope I got it right. Thank you very much. Yeah, so very quickly, my name is Jonah Tomno, and I come to you from Star Discover Insurance. I am an insurance professional with over 30 years experience in the field of insurance, risk management, and the practice of insurance itself. So I believe I have the necessary experience, knowledge, and all that it takes to take you through this session of getting insurance right. Grace has informed me that I have about 25 minutes to go through my presentation, and then we get into a question and answer session. So let me share my screen. I hope we can see it. Can we?
Not yet.
Even now? Can you see it?
Mm-mm.
Wow. What has happened?
You can click on the green button, share screen.
I have.
Then go to your screen. There you go. It's starting. Yes.
All right. Fantastic.
Yes. So you can put it on presentation mode.
That's okay now?
Yep. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Of course, when you have the kind of experience I'm talking about, then you can appreciate why sometimes technology can be challenging. However, we thank God for such opportunities that we can be able to use technology to spread knowledge and information. So like Grace said, insurance is one of those things that many people take for granted. We think we know, we think we know everything about insurance because it's something that we come across every day. But I'm here to try and demystify. And this is not to say that insurance is difficult, it is an impossible thing. It is simple, but you need to pay attention. So in my presentation this evening, I will take you through understanding insurance, types of insurance, assessing the needs, understanding coverage, choosing your provider, policy customization, cost considerations, and of course, one of the most important things, claims, because that is really where the test of the ice is in the eating. So that is where claims comes in. And then I'll just take a moment to take you through the things that you need to avoid when buying insurance. Right. So what is insurance all about? Insurance is just about transferring the risk of the items that are appearing on your screen. The risk of an accident happening and your property getting damaged and yourself getting injured or yourself getting sick. So accidents are things that face us on a daily basis, and we need to manage because that is a very big risk. If an accident was to happen, it can make the difference between your very existence. It can make the difference between the very livelihood of your family and even your business. So accidents need to be managed. Liabilities also, there are things that we become financially responsible for out of our acts of omission or commission. Then we get into financial liabilities. If you are an owner of property, then property becomes a risk to you. You really want to make sure that the moment you acquire property, that you will have it for the rest of your life, and that you will not suffer impairment of the property or loss of the property. If anything, you want to increase your portfolio of properties. Health is also another thing that is risky in your life. Your health is your everything. If you are in good health, you are good to go. But the moment your health becomes compromised, then insurance becomes a very useful tool for the management of that risk. Right. So why is insurance important? It is not true that everything can be insured. There are certain things that can be managed. So insurance is important in the sense that there are things that will be subjected to risk management, and insurance expert will help you manage risks so that the things that you cannot manage, then you insure. So insurance has an element of risk management. It will try to help you structure your risks in a way that you can transfer some and others you can keep within your control. The next thing about the importance of insurance is that certain laws in the various jurisdictions, and here we're talking about the East African region, there are certain statutes that require the presence of insurance. For example, in Kenya, it is a requirement that every employer takes out a work injury benefits policy, what is generally called WIBA. In the case of motor insurance, it's a requirement in Kenya that for you to put a motor vehicle on the road, you must have at the very minimum a third party policy at the very minimum. But of course, you may wish to take a comprehensive policy to not only protect third parties, but to also protect yourself. Insurance is also important to protect you financially, because every time you are exposed to risk, there's a very high chance that you are likely to suffer financial loss. It is also important to have insurance because as an employer who has taken insurance for the benefit of your workers, for the benefit of your employees, for the benefit of your directors, for the benefit of the dependents of your employees, it gives your brand, the brand of your organization, a better standing in the eyes of the community. And then last but not least is that insurance assures you of business continuity. You can imagine a business that has one building. Think of a hotel, for example, that operates from one location and has no insurance, and fire comes out, and the whole building or the section of the property that is occupied by that hotel is gutted down. They will be out of business. But if they have insurance, and reasonably good insurance, I can guarantee you that they will be back in business within 2 to 3 days, because some of the insurance policies will provide you with cash to enable you to rent alternative location to run your business. And of course, it will give you cash to buy any property that is damaged and to repair anything that is damaged, and you are able to be back in business. So insurance is so important for your business continuity. Now, there are very many types of insurance, very many, and I cannot pretend to be able to exhaustively take you through the various types of insurances that are available in the market. But suffice to say that we have one very big class of insurance called health insurance. And you can take out health insurance as an individual. You can take it as an SME. Of course, there's corporate medical for big institutions. And there's also, within the ambit of insurance, there's something called fund management services. So if you have funds that are lying idle, you can give it to an insurance entity that have a fund management arm, and I can guarantee you they'll be able to manage your funds the same way that a bank does it, and insurance companies, in fact, do it better. We also have property insurance. So at the very lowest level, domestic package insurance is an insurance that is so relevant to every individual. And sometimes a lot of people think that domestic insurance is available to those who own buildings. If you are renting property, it is within your right to take up a domestic package policy that protects the contents that you have in the house, whether it's a house that you are renting or it is your own property. You can take out a domestic package insurance. And the same policy can also be extended to also cover liabilities to you as a homeowner. You know, the people who come to your house to visit you, the people that you entertain in your house, they can suffer injury or damage to their property, and the domestic package policy can actually be extended to cover those kind of liabilities. Within the same policy, you can also cover your domestic workers. Then there's fire insurance. Many of us are familiar with it. Fires are everywhere. You can take out a fire insurance policy. Engineering is a more complex class of insurance, but it is available mainly for businesses. Then we have theft. You know, theft can happen in our houses, in our offices, and in many other places, in our factories. So you will need to take out a burglary policy. And then we have an all risks policy that covers, the fragile electronic equipment that may not necessarily be kept in one place. These are things that could be mobile. They could be with you. I'm hearing that some of you are visiting Rwanda. An all risks policy can cover you. It is not limited to your house. It is not limited to your office. It can cover wherever you are. Then, of course, we have the liability classes of insurances. And here we talk about, classes like the work injury benefits. We have things like the personal accident, employer's liability, product liability, officers and directors' liabilities, bonds. We have transport insurances, and this is where you have private motor, you have commercial motor, you have motorcycles, you have goods in transit, and you have marine. Now, the class I have talked about is generally what is referred to as general insurance classes. That slide represents the general insurance classes. The next slide gives you the next class, the next broad category, what we call group life or life insurance. So there are group life insurance policies that are taken for groups of employees or groups of, you as an association of HR professionals, for example, you can come up together and take out a group life policy. You can also take, this is especially for organizations, the group credit life policy is especially relevant to institutions that give out loans. If you give out a loan and the loan is dependent on the survival of the person who has taken the loan, then you will need to take out a group credit policy. We also have policies for last expense. Of course, Kenyans, we are generally very good and we always get inundated with requests to join WhatsApp groups to raise funds for our departed relatives and friends. And of late, it has become a nuisance, let's face it. And yet, insurance companies have a solution. You can take out a group last expense, and I know it's a very popular product now. We, of course, also have group mortgage insurances. And of course, last but not least, it's not on my slide, there are also very many individual life policies. Policies that are investment plans and policies that are called term policies, term life policies, or whole life policies. These are by and large investment products that you can take as an individual for to coincide with milestones in your own life. Milestones like if you're a young person and you're planning to do a wedding at some stage, you can take out a policy for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and the policy matures at the time that you have an event or an anniversary in your life that you want to mark. So by and large, that is generally, broadly speaking, the types of insurance policies that are available. They are basically categorized into two, life and non-life, or what is called short-term. Non-life policies are generally called short-term, and life policies are generally called long-term. The reason why we have the differentiation of short-term and long-term is because life policies generally are long-term in nature. They can be taken for anything from 3 years to 30 years. But short-term policies are generally annual in nature, so that if you take out a policy this year, in 12 months' time, you will need to renew. But for long-term policies, there is no requirement to renew. Once you take out a policy, the policy is live for the term you have taken, and you pay the premium continuously within the intervals that you have chosen, whether you do it monthly, weekly, annually, or whatever period that you will have chosen. Now, when you are determining the insurance that you need, the key steps that you will need to look at are you evaluate your personal or your business needs. Look at where your business is. Look at the assets that your business has. Look at the nature of the business that you are in. Are you employing people? Are you operating in an environment where you serve food or you supply materials to members of the public, and the public can be injured or suffer loss as a result of the things that you are doing. Depending on the nature of your business and the nature of the things that you do as a person, that will determine the kind of insurance that you will need. Once you understand your situation, then you will need to do an assessment of the risks that you are exposed to by nature of your business. You determine what risks you can retain. Now, the risks that you retain are those that, the rule of thumb, in fact, is that you retain risks that will not significantly impact you financially if they were to happen. And you transfer those risks that in their very nature, if they were to occur, they will determine your very existence. Those huge risks are risks that insurance experts will advise you to generally transfer to insurance companies and pay a premium. The other critical thing that you will need to look at when you are assessing your needs for insurance is your ability to pay the premium, because premium, much as we say it's a small figure that you pay for the security that you will enjoy, but yes, it is a figure that you will need to manage. So you will talk to the professionals, the insurance experts. They will give you a quotation. So you determine, is it a risk that you can transfer? Is the cost reasonable to you? Is it not reasonable? And you will make a decision based on that. Now, getting the right insurance. So you will look at the liabilities that you are exposed to. Look at the entire spectrum of liabilities. What liabilities are you exposed to? If you are an employer, if you are a business owner, if as a family person, if you own property, there are liabilities that you get exposed to. If people are walking into your premises, they are likely to, fall down because of things that you ought to have done, you did not do, you did not put a signage, or you have left trenches that are open. Those are liabilities. The next thing that you will need to get right is values. Look at the values that you have insured. If it is a motor vehicle, for example, and I see this all the time, a lot of people take or insure the values that are not necessarily the true value of assets. And this is a very, very, very common mistake that a lot of people who take out policies take. You have a vehicle that you have bought for 500,000, but you bought it at a discount. The true market value is ₦1,000,000 shillings. My advice to you, and the advice that any insurance professional will give you, is that make sure that you insure the correct value. Because insurance is about taking you back to where you were before the incident that causes you loss happened. Insurance does not anticipate to make you better, but it anticipates to take you back to where you were before the loss. Again, when you are buying out a policy, look for what is covered. The policies will always define what is the subject matter of insurance. If it is a motor vehicle, it will tell you a motor vehicle that is used for private. It will tell you it is a motor vehicle that is used for carrying passengers. It will tell you it is a motor vehicle for transporting fuel, for example. So make sure you look at the inclusions. What is insured in your policy? If it is medical, for example, make sure it covers all the things you are looking for. You are looking for dental, you are looking for maternity, you are looking for optical. Make sure it is properly included in the schedule. Another thing that is so important to look out for are exclusions. Every policy will always have exclusions. So look out for those exclusions. What are those things that are in your policy that are clearly defined as exclusions? And of course, there are certain standard exclusions that you will not find anywhere and you cannot buy them back. Things like pandemics, for example. I know we've just come from a huge pandemic in this world, the COVID that nobody had anticipated. But as soon as the World Health Organization, said it was a pandemic, it is a standard exclusion in policies. Now, exclusions generally can be bought back at an extra premium. So much as it is indicated as an exclusion, you can negotiate with your insurance provider, your broker, your agent, or the insurance company, and discuss whether it can be bought back. Now, there is also something called limits in insurance policies. You will need to look at the policies and see what are the limits. Now, limits define the maximum that the policy will pay you. In liability insurances, for example, and medical insurances, it will have limits. It will tell you your inpatient limit, for example, is 1 million. So as you utilize the benefit that has been given to you, you will need to always pay attention to the limits of cover, because insurances are generally not unlimited. They have limits. Now, when you are choosing an insurance partner, what are the things that you will want to look for? Number one, you will need to look at the management team. Look at the ownership of that company. Ask to see the list of board of directors. And today, of course, the CR12 that determines, the shareholding and the directorship of insurance companies are public documents. So you can always ask your insurance provider to give you their CR12. You look at the directorship, you look at the shareholding, ask for the profile of their managers. If you visit their websites, I'm sure you are likely to see the details of the leadership team. A quick inquiry also will give you information about reputation. These days, if you do a quick search on Google, on any company, you will be able to see, the reputation reports that have been placed there. Look at the regulators also. If you, did an inquiry, it's an insurance company, if you did an inquiry with IRA, which is the regulating body for insurance companies and all other service providers in insurance, you'll be able to get the information about those partners. It is also important to look at the flexibility. To what extent is your provider flexible? To what extent do they have the outside-in approach? Many people say, oh, we are innovative, we are creative. But sometimes you have to be careful. It could be just a statement that means nothing. It is good to interrogate and be sure that the partner that you're choosing is truly flexible, because risks are very fluid in nature and they keep on changing. And it is important that you have a partner that is flexible and is willing to customize, their products. They should not be telling you, oh, this is what we have available. It is off the shelf and it cannot be changed. And then it is also important to look at the financial capabilities of your partners. The insurance company that you are going for, ask to see who their insurers are. Ask to see who their partners are among their fellow insurance companies. Ask to see who the people they interact with, the intermediaries, the service providers that they have in their panels. If it is medical insurance, for example, if you requested to see their list of hospitals and providers, it will give you an idea of what sort of partner you are getting into. And then, of course, in this time and age, just look at their service delivery. Are they reachable 24 hours? Or are they people who open at 8 and close at 5? Do they have dedicated account managers who are on call? And do they respond if you test? What is their mode of technology? What technology have they applied in their business? Because obviously, any company that does not deploy a reasonably good IT system will definitely not be able to respond in the event of a loss. And then look at their processes. And just to talk generally about the insurance industry, I know we've come a long way as an industry. for the longest time, we've been accused of being running, some small prints that we never take our customers through to understand. But I bet that we are much better than banks. Sometimes when we are taking a loan, I bet that many of us never look at the terms and conditions because they come in many pages. Today, I bet that insurance companies have tried to simplify their processes and even their documentation. And I know the regulator has played a key role in that space by trying to standardize all the policies and make them as simple and as friendly as possible. Now, policies generally, have standard wordings, but they can also be customized. You can request for extensions. You can request for riders. For example, in a life policy, generally accidents are not covered, but you can request for an accident extension. You can request for all manner of extensions depending on your need. So you always talk to your insurance company and say, can this be extended? Can this be endorsed in the policy? Again, try to look as much as possible to understand what is the scope of coverage. What is it? What is covered? Try to understand, because within the policies, the subject matter of insurance is quite often defined. And then the policy should, as much as possible, be specific to you. It should not be a generic document, because if it is not talking to you as the customer, then you would say that is a general document that may not necessarily be speaking to your personal needs. Now, cost considerations. Always look at the premiums. What premiums are you charging me? Are you giving me a discount? If I reduced, for example, the limit that is available, does my premium go down? But in determining the premium, be very careful so that you do not reduce your premiums, and in the same way also reduce the coverage to the extent that you have nothing. And then there's something called deductibles in insurance, or also called excess. When you take a huge deductible or you take a huge excess in insurance policies, generally you get a discount. And many underwriters, many agents, many brokers may tell you, okay, I will reduce your premium, but they know that they have also given you a higher deductible or a higher excess. So they have given you in one hand, but they have taken out in the other hand. So always look out for something called deductibles and discounts. Right. I think last but not least, like I said, this is the real test of the pudding is in the eating. When the thing that this very nice lady who has sold you an insurance policy has promised happens, what are you supposed to do? For you to reap the maximum benefit of your policy, you will need to report the happening of any incident that is likely to lead to a claim. Not, I said, an incident, not an accident, not a claim. Any incident that may lead to a claim, please notify your insurance provider. Please notify the agent. Please notify the broker. Please notify the insurance company. As the details of the incident unfold, it will be noted whether it will become a claim or it will not. But always notify. You are safer. Of course, within policies, there are some that have specified in the terms when a claim should be reported, whether it is within 24 hours, whether it is within 7 days, whatever it is. But at the earliest opportunity, please notify. Once you notify, the insurance company will come back to you and say, provide 1, 2, 3, 4. They will give you a form to fill. They will request for documents to be submitted, and so on and so forth. Please comply. provide the details that are requested for, provide any evidence that they request for, whether it is a police abstract, whether it is a statement from any other party, whatever it is. And then finally, the insurance company will definitely settle your claim. What are the things that you need to, as I conclude, what are the things that you really need to avoid? Make sure you have adequate coverage. Do not underestimate the value of your assets. Do not take out insurance for purposes of your financial institution or your financial, or because it is a requirement by a party. Insure your assets for the full value. Insure yourself against your full liability. If you think the people who visit your premises, if you are the owner of a premise, for example, are high net worth individuals, and you think if they suffered loss, they're likely to slap you with a claim of 10 million, please take out a liability with a limit of 10 million. If you think, and of course, you can also be guided by your insurance service provider. They're the ones who can also give you an idea in that if you are not very clear. But whichever way, please make sure you have adequate. Do not underestimate. Do not ignore exclusions. Always pay attention. Look at your policy document. Look at the exclusions. What is not covered? And ask whether you can buy it back. And then, of course, every so often, your details will change. Your address will change. The details of your motor vehicle, the details of your asset might change. Every time there is a change, please notify your underwriter, notify your agent that there has been change and this is the situation, this is the obtaining circumstances, so that they are well updated on the risk that they have taken on your behalf. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. That is the end of my presentation. I hope I have not gone beyond the 25 minutes, and I hope I still have your attention. Thank you very much. Grace, over to you.
You certainly have our attention, and you certainly, this is where the East Africans meet. And you certainly have wowed us. And I can see the comment, somebody saying this is such an eye opener and very educative. Yeah, and I can remind you that Get It Right with the Tara Solutions is your official trendsetter. So make sure you are normally here every Tuesday to listen to what you're bringing, fresh topics and really things that you haven't necessarily had. But there's a question, there are a number of questions, Tom, you have really done a good job. There's a question here. Suppose I underdeclared the value of my car when insuring. Can it be corrected?
Yes, thank you very much for that question. Yes, it can be corrected anytime. You can update your details at any point during the currency of the policy. You may take out the policy today and you think the value of your car is 1 million. Tomorrow you realize, no, it should actually be 1.5 million. You can update it anytime during the currency. You can update all the way to even a week before expiry. Even on the last day, it is possible. It can be corrected.
Wow. And then there's somebody else who's saying medical insurance is an employee benefit. Is an employee benefit. Is an international medical cover taxable?
Generally, medical benefits are not taxable. It is not, if it is a benefit that your employer provides for you, medical benefit is not taxable. It is not treated as one of those benefits. It's not, like airtime or fuel or things like that. Medical is not. It's not taxable.
Okay. There's somebody who's saying, can he talk about group excess of loss?
You said group excess. Maybe I should look at that. I can look at that.
Did not. Yeah, maybe you can also retype it again. I also did not get it clearly. Group in excess of loss. Anywho, There's another question from Caroline Botia who says, good evening, this is very insightful. My question is, why is medical insurance cover, why is that medical insurance cover are normally given by grades to some companies?
I think my friends who are the who are the HR practitioners are best placed to answer that question. But my general understanding is that benefits in any organization are always dependent on your grade. Benefits are rarely uniform. So just like salaries are not uniform, benefits also depend on your grade.
Okay. Then there's a question, by the way, people are asking, how do we contact you? You can also share the contact details on the WhatsApp. But somebody saying, two quick quizzes: pros and cons of engaging insurer through a broker, and the procedure of pulling out of a policy prematurely.
Okay. Pros and cons of taking out insurance through a broker or through an agent or directly. Of course, the insurance law is very clear that an agent, for example, an insurance agent is an agent of the insurance company. So when you are dealing with an agent, please note that you are as well dealing with the insurance company. That is the law and that is the practice. Now, a broker becomes an agent of the customer. So a broker has a higher level of professionalism, knowledge, and experience in the field of insurance. And by and large, they are supposed to work with their clients to design their policies. And they will also approach the insurance company now and negotiate discounts and negotiate the exclusions, for example, remove the exclusions as much as possible. So in my own experience, it is better you will get a better deal if you have a good insurance broker. You will get a better deal. You will also get a slightly better deal with an agent, but remember, an agent works for the insurance company. Of course, when you approach an insurance company, by and large, insurance companies are generally big. They may not have the time to take you through their products, their exclusions, their limitations. And sometimes it will become much more difficult for you to engage with an insurance company as you would engage with a broker or an agent. But perhaps I would encourage, and I know this is what the law says, even if you work through a broker or an agent, a broker or an agent, it may still be a good idea to pay your premiums directly to the insurance company. But again, this depends on the relationship between you and your broker. If you entirely trust your broker, if you entirely trust your agent, then you can pay the agent and trust them to pay the insurance company. But it doesn't cost you anything to make a direct payment to the insurance company. And to me, that is what I would advise anybody. In my previous life, I have also been a broker. And as a broker, I encourage my customers to pay directly to the insurance company because a broker or an agent lives on commission. And that's it. Thank you. I hope that is clear.
Yeah, there's another question here. Guys, if you want, please just put the questions on the Q&A. It's easier for me to follow through. There's somebody who's saying, I have a life policy, but have been unable to make payment for a couple of months. How long before I lose my investment, or would you advise that I catch up on the payment?
I would encourage you to catch up on your payments because depending, life policies generally, like I said, are long term. So once you make payments for a policy for a period of 3 years, then the policy gets something called surrender value. Now, surrender value is calculated if after 3 years you think you cannot continue, approach the insurance company and tell them, look, I can't continue paying for this. They will work out how much premium you have paid, reduce expenses, and other things, and then return your money back to you. But if it is before 3 years, chances are you are unlikely to get anything from an insurance company. And then somebody had asked a question about, can you cancel a policy? Yes, you can cancel a policy anytime. But remember, the challenge is if you cancel your policy, then things of refund become critical. Generally, if it is a non-life policy, if you cancel within the first year, within the first 6 months, they will apply what is generally called short-term rates, which are higher. If you cancel after 6 months, they are likely to count the number of days and divide by the premium and refund for the unexpired period. And for life, like I said, if it is within 3 years, you are unlikely to get anything. But if it is after 3 years, you are likely to get something called surrender value. Thank you.
All right. There's a long conversation here. Have a situation where upon taking a WIBA cover, the premiums were computed on the payroll as at the time of the cover. An employee was on a salary X at the time of cover, Y at the time of workplace accident, and Z currently. DOSH have computed at the rate of Z. Insurance will pay at the rate of X. This means company may have to top up, or what is the practice?
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Now, WIBA policies and many other policies are generally called declaration policies. Now, what happens is that at the inception of the policy, you declare the salaries. In between the inception and the expiry of the policy, salaries are likely to change. Employees are also likely to change. So what happens is that at the end of the period, you declare. So you go to the insurance company and tell them, look, I had told you I was having 100 employees. By the way, now I have 120. By the way, I have 90. So if the number has gone up, then you pay additional premium. If the number has gone down, or if the earnings have also gone down, then you get a refund. So that is how those classes of insurance operate. They're generally called declaration policies. So at the end of the year, you are supposed to declare and you get a refund or you pay more. But the benefits are calculated based on the actual. So the insurance company will look at the actual salary, not the salary that was declared. And in WIBA policies, generally, we do not ask for individual policies. We ask for the payroll. So what is your monthly payroll? So your monthly payroll, you tell us, is 5 million, but we don't go into the individuals. And then perhaps the closest we come to is to classify the employees. We have office employees, we have drivers, we have people who are machine operators, and so on and so forth. But generally, we take a block figure. But the expectation is at the end of the period, you will now declare and say, I had declared that my payroll is 5 million. It turns out it has been 2.5 million, or it has been 7 million. Then you pay, or you get a refund. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, I thought I did not expect all these questions. Rehab is saying, is it a must for employers to provide employees contract or engagement letters to insurance company as a document of proof in WIBA claim? If yes, what happens in cases of casual employees as the Act recognizes them as employees and has no engagement letter?
Thank you. There is no requirement. There is no requirement whatsoever that you provide the insurance company with the employment contract. I think those are extreme circumstances. Perhaps an insurance company was not trusting that this is an employee, and it is at that point perhaps they'll ask for an employment contract. But by and large, insurance companies never ask for the employment contract.
Okay. And I don't know whether on your slide you had your contact details as well.
unfortunately, just a moment, let me go back to the beginning. I don't think I have it.
Okay, then you or somebody from Discover, they can put the contact details. The people who are asking how they can reach to you. So, and then there's this question from Mercy. Can you talk more about excess of loss insurance, oftenly referred to as GLOX? GLOX.
I am not too sure I understand exactly what that, excess of loss is a term that is used in reinsurance. It is never used in primary insurance. Now, excess of loss is a technical term, which means an insurance company, for example, takes out an insurance policy and says, you will pay claims up to so much. If my claims go beyond this, then you will come in. So that is called an excess of loss. But in primary policies, there's never a thing called excess of loss. What I think happens in many employment situations is that, for example, you take out a policy where you say inpatient is 3 million. Then a staff exceeds 3 million. Now, when a staff exceeds the 3 million, what employers sometimes do is to take a separate cover or create a fund, which they call excess of loss. That I have seen, but strictly speaking, this is not insurance. And sometimes employers may approach an insurance company and say, I have this exposure or I have this risk that X number of employees, for example, are likely to exceed their 3 million inpatient limit. And I do not want to carry that risk of, say, out of 100 employees, if 3 of them exceed by double or even triple or something like that, then I want to pay the excess up to so much. Beyond this, then the insurance company comes in. So that's how the excess of loss cover is arranged. But it's not a very common thing in insurance companies. We do not. It's not something that we encourage. It is something that insurance companies organize for themselves to protect their net book in the event of claims.
Okay.
I hope that is clear. Yeah.
Yes. Peggy is saying, over time, I've realized that getting my car insurance through a broker is cheaper than the company. How is this so?
It's like buying from a wholesaler and buying from a retailer. A broker is a wholesaler. So, a broker goes to an insurance company.
Oh, dear. Okay. You're on mute.
My colleague Anne Bahati, I am sure, is present. Maybe she can help me with the posting of our contact details. I am sure she's in the house.
Yes.
I'm sure she can help me with posting the contact details of Discover. But I can tell you that our physical offices are in Kilimani, a building called Akplace. We are on the first floor. We are on Nyangumi Road between Dennis Street and Lenana Road. We are on the first floor. But if you can take down my contact details, my email address is...
You can type it on the chat.
I can type it. Okay. Let me...
Yeah, but before you go to typing, can we answer the questions? Take the last two.
Yes.
Yes. Somebody is saying, how safe is the money market fund when dealing with Chama members?
Now, asset management, part of any insurance company, is regulated by CMA, Capital Markets Authority. And of course, the overall regulation of any insurance company is IRA. In case of any malpractices, and then for your information, there is an MOU between Central Bank Capital Markets Authority, Retirement Benefits Authority, and IRA, where they share among themselves any cases of malpractice. So I would say that investment funds managed by fund management arms of insurance companies are as good as they come. They are as good as any bank or any other fund management organization. In any case, apart from fund management, insurance companies are also administrators of many pension schemes. So insurance companies are as good as they come. I
think we've lost Tom.
have asset management outfits.
Tom, if you can go back 30 seconds, we lost you. We lost him again. Okay. There was another question.
Grace, I lost you.
Yeah, we lost you as well. Yeah, so you can go back 30 seconds. Can you hear me? Tom? Tom, we've lost you. I think the your internet knows it's 9 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, something is totally off. Tom?
I can see my colleague has posted.
Yeah, we lost him. So for more questions, I think you can get in touch with the team. There are quite a number of contact details that have been shared on the chat. Please take them. Mr. Tom, the cell phone is not complete. I know it is not complete, but I think the internet is doing him a number. It happens to the best of us most of the time, really. Okay. All right. I think we've covered most of the questions except one that I was hoping would cover before we let Tom go. But at this rate, I think I can see you, Tom, but I think you're still blurring. Okay. Oh, somebody says, Mr. Tom, the cell phone is not complete. Bahati, the Mr. Tomno's cell phone, it's actually complete. 0722 710 728 0722 710 728 is Tom's number. It's on the chart. All right. I think we've lost Tom completely. So nonetheless, I hope this was quite educative for you. And I hope that you have really gotten a chance to understand a thing or two so that you can get to be better at looking for insurance. For more details, please get in touch with Star Discover. They are amazing with their services, and I'm sure they'll be happy to support you. I mean, part of what they're doing here today and doing it for free as well, it is just making sure that we all understand and we all come together to change the world through information. So information is power. And I tell you, if you have ever dealt with insurance, you know very well that ignorance has no defense. So for this conversation, you can continue the conversation with Star Discover separately. They've shared their numbers on the chat. Feel free to contact them, and I'm sure you'll be informed, or you'll get to learn more from them, because that is what they do every other day. And of course, we will be happy to bring them on board to demystify any other issue that you may want us to, because we want to listen to you, and we want to just make sure that you're making better decisions and you're treating your people better, and just being there for people is an amazing job. So with that, please follow us on Instagram. We are called Atara Solutions. Yes, Tom, I see your apology. Yes, your network has let you down, but nonetheless, we understand. I mean, it happens to most of us. So I've shared our WhatsApp group. If you're joining us for the first time, please join our WhatsApp group to get to know what's coming up in Get It Right with Atara Solutions. Next Tuesday, we're actually discussing bipolar. It has become a very common illness amongst us, and people are just getting to discover. And we want to learn more about the illness. It's a mental health session next week. And then we move on to April. We have some awesome topics lined up for you, including a sales topic. We also have risk management and governance. We have quite a number of interesting topics lined up for April as well. So make sure that you keep it, Get It Right with Atara Solutions. There's a WhatsApp link. Please join our WhatsApp group. Like our Facebook page, we also post there. Get Atara Solutions. Atara is ATARAH. Atara Solutions. That's our company Facebook page. We are also called Atara Solutions on Instagram. Please like us. And then these recordings, we normally upload them on our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is called Get It Right with Atara Solutions. Get It Right with Atara Solutions is our YouTube channel. Please subscribe. We will be sharing the recording, and you can also get to listen slowly, carefully, watch the recording, get to follow through the lessons as well, so that then you can be able to catch up and be able to answer some of the questions that you could not understand. And yeah, I think I want to say thank you to you for being patient and for being here with us. And we apologize on behalf of Tom for the network issue, but I think he had covered quite a lot. Fine, mine is okay. So yeah, it's mine actually that has a problem. Yeah, so thank you very much for being here. We appreciate our sign language interpreter, Catherine Sidandi. We appreciate you, our audience. Thank you for tuning in. And of course, the team at Atara Solutions for making this happen. I am just a face. There's a whole team behind making this a reality. And of course, thank you, Star Discover, for your partnership. Thank you for educating us. And thank you very much for just choosing to do better than most. So we appreciate you. You guys have a lovely night, and we shall see you next week as we discuss bipolar as a mental illness. And right, because we want to be fair, we want to be our sisters and brothers keepers. So the more we understand, the better we are at our thing. So my name is Grace Nzula from Atara Solutions. And we are in the service of HR. So if you're looking for a HR consultant, a trainer, or you wish to outsource your HR services, then do that. Today you are dismissing us early. Yes, Brian, unfortunately, you're used to telling people that you are working until 9:30. Yeah, today I will allow you to go and take your cup of tea. And thank you, Brian Musisi from HR Mau. HR Mau is the Human Resource Management Association of Uganda. They are currently doing the elections, and I'm really watching closely. I can't wait to see who is sitting in the new office. So thank you very much, guys, for being here. We really appreciate you, and you guys have a lovely night. In case of any follow-up questions, like I have said, the numbers for Star Discover are there, but you can also get in touch with me, and I'll be able to link you up with the team if in case you are not able to get the contact. So I think from me, it's a lovely night. Always a pleasure to see you. Yes, please go and take space as given for but you can take tea and listen to music. I can tell you can stick around.